Welcome back to Keep It Real Boxing. This is Cypherbox bringing you the latest in boxing news, and all I'm going to say is shots fired. Okay, you're all probably wondering what I'm on about. If you haven't already seen it, you can see the pickup on the on my Instagram page here. A video I'm about to play for you of John David Jackson hitting back at Sergey Kovalev. Now, a few months ago, when the Shabransky fight was made, when Sergey Kovalev was team had announced that they were going to fight Shabransky, Kovalev and Igor Klimas, his manager, made quite a few comments about John David Jackson, saying that he basically wasn't a coach or a trainer, etc. They pretty much just blamed him for the losses to Andre Ward, saying that, you know, he didn't do his job, he didn't train Sergey Kovalev and all this sort of stuff. Also, Igor Klimas also accused John David Jackson in the Kovalev Ward fight, the second fight, the rematch, that before they left their change room to start their ring walk, he apparently put something in Sergey Kovalev's drink and gave it to Kovalev, and he goes, don't know what it was, but Kovalev looked way too relaxed before entering the ring. And even Sergey Kovalev himself said, I felt well too relaxed, not pumped for the fight, I didn't feel my usual self. So they basically said that he spiked his drink with something, and they believe that affected Sergey Kovalev's performance against Andre Ward in the rematch. You can believe that if you want. Me personally, I don't do all these accusations. If you're going to accuse someone of something, give me more proof. Don't just give me your word. I want to see evidence, video footage, etc., what witnesses, etc., whatever. But I'm not going to go on that. But they pretty much dogged John David Jackson, who's a very good trainer, former world champion himself. Since the losses to Andre Ward, and I just want to play to you, and I said shots fired, and I just want to play to you now what John David Jackson has recently said back to Sergey Kovalev. So here we go.
Well, I learned he's ungrateful. Please don't listen. I learned that's one fighter that's ungrateful. And not everybody's going to be grateful for the things that you do for them. Here's a guy who won the title and they got big-headed and also thought he did anything himself. He started taking all the credit for himself, saying no one's teaching him, no one's promoting him. He would say bad things about his promotional company. He would say things about me. He did everything himself. And okay, fine. But if when I first got you, you could punch, but you couldn't fight. Now you can fight, but I didn't teach you anything, so I let that go. I got a little surprise for him. So, but I'll tell you this: any fighter that fights him, if you go to the body on a guy who drinks vodka like crazy, you'll stop him. Listen. I told Don Turner, our cut man, a week before the fight, I said, Ward goes to the body, this guy's done. He's done. That's what Ward did. He's been judged. Honestly, I could care less what he does at this point. With the state of boxing and 4 belts out there, he can get this, and he's going to fight this kid Shabransky for the BO title. He can be champion again, but let's see until he beats Ward. And listen, I can't blame Ward for leaving. Ward was smart. Until you beat the man who beat you, you can't really truly call yourself champion. Now you go around and say I'm champ, but guess what? There's somebody that beat you. First time, it was questionable. Second time, you quit, and he stopped you. So,
thank you very much.
You can't really say much until you beat Ward. You can't call yourself champion. I don't care who you beat for the title. The man that beat you is still out there. Who you call yourself? I'm champ. Man, get the hell out of here. You ain't champ. Champ retired.
Okay, and that's what John David Jackson had to say in return, I suppose, to the comments regarding Sergey Kovalev made and his team's made since they've parted ways. There's a lot of bad blood now between them. To be fair, I personally don't believe Sergey Kovalev. To say that John David Jackson is a bad coach and a bad trainer, I don't believe it, because before the Ward fights, I think he was doing a pretty good job in training you. Or was he not training you then and you were just doing that all on your own? Which I don't believe. And we've seen John David Jackson in fights outside of the Ward fight you know, like Bernard Hopkins, and he's screaming and having literally telling Kovalev what he needs to do in the ring, how to go about it, etc., etc. So that's not true that he wasn't well trained. You know, Kovalev's team, for whatever reason, in a sense, I feel probably turned their back on John David Jackson, and then they thought, well, you know what, we need to blame someone, instead of taking the blame ourselves and saying that, well, hey, you know, the first fight was a close fight, could have gone either way. The second fight, hey, put my hand up, I quit. You know, we need to find someone to blame, and their scapegoat, or they're trying to make John David Jackson their scapegoat. But end of the day, I think if you're a smart enough boxing fan and you read into things quite well, and you're able to decipher all the BS, then you'll always get to the truth. You know, but shout out to John David Jackson. You know, why should he take that? You know, give as good as you get. And he's also saying things like in this, if you listen closely, that he's got something for Sergey Kovalev. He's got a surprise for him, and it's interesting. If you watch the whole video, it's quite interesting. What he says is that, you know, I've got a little surprise for him, don't you worry. And you know, when asked, oh, what was that surprise? What is the surprise? He goes, don't worry, I've got a little surprise for him. So I'm starting to wonder whether he's going to attempt to take Sergey Kovalev and his team perhaps to court for slander or whatever. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But there you have it. John David Jackson, shots fired, hits back at Sergey Kovalev and Igor Klimas for their recent comments, especially their comments a few months ago when the Shabransky fight was made. Alright guys, as always, like, share and subscribe. Until next time, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.